Now let's take a look at Harmonization Example 1D on the bottom of page 147. If we look, it's asking us what the modality is. If the tonal center remained as is, but the modality changed to mixolydian, what key signature would you use, it asks. So first, we have to understand what the mixolydian modality is. Mixolydian modality is very easy to remember. It's the same as a major scale, except it has a lowered 7th scale degree. That's all it is. So the 7th scale degree is lowered by 1/2 step. So it's a major scale without a leading tone. So if I were to play C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7th scale degree, which normally would be B natural, would be lowered down to B flat. And I resolve up to C major. That's mixolydian. And you can do that with any major scale just by lowering the 7th scale degree. Creates a interesting sound because it no longer has that leading tone presence. So it's asking what the modality is. Now, to determine modality, the first question you want to ask yourself is, what is the tonal center? Now, tonal center is defined by the key note that sounds like the home note. Okay? And a good way to do this is to look for starting and ending pitches. If we see we start on B, we end on an E, in this case I would like to think that that B is actually acting as a dominant. Okay? So the tonal center is E here. If we take a listen, okay? I think it's very fair to say that the tonal center is here. We're centered around E. Then the question is, okay, well, if E is the tonal center, well, then what modality would we be in? Now, all these are white keys. If we were to play a scale starting from E, okay, this would be Phrygian. Phrygian. So this is the Phrygian mode. Is what we call this, Phrygian mode. Now, how can you remember the Phrygian mode? Well, Phrygian mode is very easy to remember. Phrygian mode is the same as a natural minor scale with a lowered 2nd scale degree. That's all it is. So when learning your modalities, I think it's much easier to remember them all just by identifying them, comparing them to a major scale or a natural minor scale. All of your modalities can be compared this way. Okay? Modalities being Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian. Aeolian is the natural minor, Ionian is the major. So Phrygian is just a natural minor with a flat 2nd scale degree, a lowered 2nd scale degree. So if I took A minor, for example, A natural minor doesn't have any black keys. If I just lower the 2nd scale degree to a B flat, now I've got the A Phrygian. So you can hear the sound that it kind of creates. We hear this in mode in use in some Middle Eastern music, for example. So that's the Phrygian mode. Of course, they ask the question, if the tonal center remained as is, but the modality changed to mixolydian, what key signature would we use? So what they're saying is, if the tonal center is still E, but it's mixolydian, what would we key be? And I already told you mixolydian is major with a flat 7. Major with a flat 7. So that means E major with a flat 7. Okay, so E major has how many sharps? It has, well, 4 sharps. F, C, G, and D. The 7th scale degree is D sharp, so we take that away to lower the 7th scale degree. So you would just have 3 sharps, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So if your tonal center was E, and it was E mixolydian, you would have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, which would look like A major, the key of A major, but actually in this case be E mixolydian. So that's how you'd figure that out. We're not going to play this in E mixolydian, we're just going to play this in E Phrygian without any sharps. Now in this case, you don't even have to think about the fact that it's an E Phrygian, you just have to play the chords. So now that we know our modality and tonality, we just identify the chords here. So we have E minor, they give us the chords E minor, A minor, E minor, G, C, E minor. They gave us a starting point here, but you don't have to use this. If you want to use this, you're welcome to. Okay? All you have to do, it's very easy, is play the triads relating to these. And with the left hand, you're just going to play the roots of the chords. That's all. Left hand's really easy. So if it says E minor, play an E. It says A minor, play an A. It says G, play a G. For the right hand, I don't care what position you're in. If you want to start in root position E minor, you can. Okay? So this is very easy. The only thing that you need to mind is the B half diminished 7 that occurs on bar 6, B half diminished 7. So let's take a look at this. Obviously, this is something you've all learned in music theory, but nevertheless, let's make sure that you all understand how to voice this. So B half diminished 7 is just a diminished triad. So B diminished triad, which will be B, D, and F, and then a minor 7th, which is A. Okay? That's a B half diminished 7th. All white keys still. Well, what are some ways that you can voice this? In order for this to be a B half diminished 7, you just really need 2 notes, B and A. That's really all you need. You also need the F natural. Okay? So with the right hand, I would recommend voicing this something like D minor, perhaps. Because with the left hand playing the root, you get the full half diminished effect. Okay? You could also pull this off just by playing F and A in the right hand. You would still hear B half diminished 7. Okay? So the right hand can be voiced as, you could think of this as D minor over B, if you wanted to. D minor over B will create the same effect. Okay? So again, pretty easy. So let's go through one version of this. Let's start this in root position in the right hand. So root position E minor. To A minor, you just do E, A, C. Back to E minor. To get to G major, move your thumb down to D, D, G, B. To get to C major, E, G, C. Back to root position E minor. For the B half diminished 7, move your right hand down to D minor. To get back to E minor, shift back up a whole step. C major, E, G, C, and back to E minor. So with hands together, it would sound like this. 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1, 2, 1, and 2, and 1, and 2, and 1, and a 2, and 1. If I played it all together, I'm going to move my melody up an octave so I have some room to harmonize. It would sound like this. 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, so that's how it sounds all together. Of course, you won't be doing that unless you want an extreme challenge for yourselves. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I'll see you in the next video.